Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we've got this DCF887 Dewalt Impact Driver. It's a 3-speed, oldie but a goodie. This one's got two problems. I'm going to show you what they are. Sort of missing. That's an issue with the switch. It's got another issue which is also very common. The bit holder not staying in. So to deal with those two problems you need small screwdriver, small pick, a spring to replace in this chuck, and the part number of it is N437890. And to deal with the switch issue we need a T10 Torx and some electrical contact cleaner. The thing we have to do is get this open, get the screws out. There you are. So just take the cover off. A fair bit of dust in here, so we're going to just give it a blow out with the airline. What you can do to improve the performance of these is spray it with electrical contact cleaner and round the motor and then round the switch here, and work the switch when you're doing it. There's a little switch in there at the bottom. Give it a bit of a blast. You know. That should be enough for that. Now we'll just put the cover back on and then we'll fix the chuck. Let's start back together now. We'll just put a battery in to see if that improved the performance. Pretty good. Now you have to just fix the chuck. To fix the chuck you have to remove this item here. It's a little ring, retaining ring at the start here. Use a little pick to get on under it, like that. There we are. There's the retaining ring, and you have a little washer then, and you have a spring. Those are all fine. Those will be able to be used. Then you take the cover off, and there's a little ball in there. Be careful not to lose that. Have to get that out and not lose it. There it is, right there. And then we get to the offending item, which is the broken spring. And we have one right here to replace it. You can see the difference in the new one and the old one. You can see there's a bit broken off, and that's what's caused the issue. You need that little bit there to retain the ball in its position. So we're going to just put that on and then stick the ball on. You see you put that into the hole there, and we're going to do is set the ball on here now, like that. Okay, and we set that sleeve over the top, put the spring in, the washer, and the actual hard part now is getting it all forced down and getting this retaining clip back on. So the washer, then the retaining clip. That's the retaining clip. So it goes in the top. You remember I took that off. Nearly. There we're one on now. Let's put one end of it down. Push that down now. That took way more than it should have. But it's done now. And I'm going to add a little bit of grease for good measure. Because why not? Might as well. And that's perfect. Perfect. Look at this Metabo Impact Wrench. That's the model number there. I'm not going to read it out because it's as long as a wet Wednesday. But anyway, this is going quite well. However, the guy that owns it had to put a screw in here to hold the switch on, and he's not happy with that because it's not nice in the finger. It's not very ergonomic with that on. So I just ordered one for him, and I'm going to install it here now. So the first thing we got to do is get all the screws out of the side and the screws out of the front here. So with all the screws removed, we should be able to pull the side off quite easy now. As you see, the switch is quite a simple affair. It's just a ribbon strip going down to the bottom and down into the controller. Let's get down to the quite simple job of removing that. Here's the old one. Out with the old, in with the new. That's looking good now. Just time to put the screws back in again. So that's her all back together. Just have to slam the battery and see if she's going now. I'm calling that fixed. The SSID4-A22 Impact Driver. This is a brushless impact driver from Hilti. This is the old model, oldie but a goodie. You can see one of the problems right away, that the chuck's missing. No. But I'm missing the electronics, but we can sort that out. We can sort both problems out, and that's what I'm going to show you in this video. First of all, we need to talk about the chuck. This chuck is the genuine Hilti part. It comes in this cardboard box, which has a little bag and all the separate parts in it. This had to come from Germany, made in China, distributed from Germany to the rest of Europe. To address the other issue, the answer is this. We'll blow it out, we'll take it apart, blow it out with airline and give it a good old clean with this stuff. And that should fix the little hesitation in the trigger. So the first thing we're going to do is to get all the screws and get this opened anyway. So looking inside, you can see the problem. It's looking like Tony Montana in here, or Pablo Escobar, you know. So what we can do in that case, we'll first of all we'll blow away all this stuff first. Next step is this stuff. Work the switch when you're doing this. You have two options now. You can allow that to dry in its own time, or if you're in a bit of a hurry, you can use the compressor again. I could put that together now and fix the chuck, but I always find when I'm using fixing these, I remove this rubber boot from the front for the simple reason it gives me a little bit more room to work at that circlip and remove it and replace the new one. So remove this circlip, a snap ring or whatever you call it. Just get that off. That's your first thing. That's it. When assembling this chuck, the first thing I do is put the balls on, the little holes. I put a little bit of grease so they don't fall out. That holds them in place. I've done that on both sides. And I start assembling the chuck. Chuck cover first. There we are. Spring. This washer, but that's not spring. That's for the top. And these two guys here. All we need to do is get them onto place over the top of the balls, which isn't easy. We need to push this up a little bit and ease these down. And this can be a fiddly job. This can take a long time. With a lot of manipulation and poking about with the balls in here, I've actually got this to go up and down. That's what you need to do. It just takes, it's hard to explain how to do that. You just have to mess about with it. And now I just have to put this circle up onto place to hold this. And let's just stop it going down. That's it. Just get this back together again. Shock's looking pretty good. Yeah, good and tight. Yeah. I'm calling that fixed. Fuel impact driver. It's got quite a simple problem, but quite an annoying problem. If you look down there, there's a butt holder broke in the collet. Look, you can't get the butt holder into it because there's a chunk still left inside. So what do you do when this happens? Quite simple. You remove this collet here. This collet has to come off. And what you do is take off the snap ring, the washer, the spring, and there's two balls, and hopefully we'll be able to free it up, be able to get that bit loose. Taking apart the collet is a fiddly procedure, but you don't need any special real tools or anything well sophisticated to do it. Usually a screwdriver like this, or maybe a wee hook and pick or something like that. I have a hook and pick set like this here. It can be quite useful when removing these. Just something like this can be incredibly useful to get under that little snap ring off there. That's the hardest part. Then you take the washer off. Then there's the spring. And then this is the part you need to be careful of. When you take off this collet, there's balls there and they can drop out. We'll take that collet off anyway. There's two balls there. So we need to try not to lose them because they're a specific size, you know. There's one out. Get the other one out there. The magnetic tray is your best friend with these sort of things. So that's what's holding the. Get this retaining thing that holds the two balls in easily. I'll get that off. As well. That's good. There we are. So I'll have to try and get this broken bit out now. I don't know if you can see that. See it down in there. Could might come out not so bad. There it is. There's the Fenton item. Where'd it go? No, it didn't go. That's it there. That's the bit we need out. There you are. The washer must have come off. Anyway, so when you have that done, it's only a matter of putting everything back on the way you got it. I'll just move this down to see if I can get close-up reassembly here. The first part is this, and just slide it on over that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And there's two slots there. You can see them. I'll just get them right up close. See that slot there? Like that. And we'll turn it around to get the other side, just to show you where everything goes. That slot goes in there. Them two things hold the balls on. So there we are. So we'll turn them around and we'll put the balls back on. I always think it's probably good practice in these impact drivers, any brand impact driver for that part. A little bit of grease helps stick the balls in place when you're reassembling, and it hopefully negates the possibility of it rolling off onto the floor and losing them. You want to avoid that kind of carry on. So that's one ball in there. That's ball number one, and this is ball number two. Ball number two. Right, and next thing is, call it, just put that out over it. Okay, like that. And the spring, then the washer, like that. Right, this is the tricky part now, getting this all together and getting the snap ring back on, the split ring, you know. You can see that. Right. Oh, it's working out well. Can't believe it got it first time. That doesn't always happen, but it's good when it does. Right, so that's a good job. Let's move this back up again. And we'll try the butt holder now. See? That's it. That's perfect. That's a fantastic job. I'm calling that fixed. This Milwaukee Grease Gun, and it's going. It's got that horrendous noise You have to forgive the wind outside because Storm Dara is attacking us today. But anyway, to fix that, all you need is this. This goes between the gearbox and the motor. So we're going to have to open this, put this on, and that'll solve the problem. As you see, somebody's done the little conversion to the bigger tubes, but you see, these are the 500 gram tubes. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day. That's another story. If you're interested, you need a T20 torque to take this off. All the screws are TX20s. That's security torques. There are there. Correction, they're not security, but they are T10. Sorry, T20. There's no little raised up piece in the middle that makes them security torque. But I always buy the security torques because that does both. I'll get this lid off for you now. One more screw here, you have to listen. Is there T10 or T15? Right, that's a T15 there. That should lift that. Again, a TX15 for that job. This should allow us to lift the side off now, hopefully. I haven't missed any screws. Oh, I missed one. And there we are. It's always one, isn't it? Alright, I have them all, I think, now. Alright. Should get it now. There we are. And that's the side off. This is a fairly simple procedure. It really goes on there, just that's up there. So we'll have to get this out. There we are. I'll sort that. Allow us to ease this out a little bit and get this off. That's probably as far as we need to go with a tear down. And as you can see, this is fairly simple. You just take it off the way it would, take it off and put the other one on the way it's on, and it's only on with 2 Phillips head screws. I'll get down closer so you can see that and see what we're doing here. They're tight to get a little spring washer on them. Sorry about the XS1 today, but that couldn't be helped. It's just the Mother Nature is up today and remind us how small we are. Storm Dara has been doing a wee bit of devastation across the country last night and this morning, so but the show must go on here. That's straight on there. I'll put it on good and tight because it was on tight, so It's as tight as I can put it on without shearing the screws. See, the cog around to the gears, which you can do first time sometimes, and sometimes you just can't. It's just one of those things. Here we are. Getting your cog down to the gears, and then there's two little wing taps that she has to go onto. There's a wee part in this that she has to clip onto, and she appears to be in place there. So we'll put everything back in the way it was and tighten all up and get her back together. That's her all screwed together. That's the old part. So it's a moment of truth. All I have to do is put in a battery and test it. Here we are. See, it's pumping out the grease, and that screeching noise has vanished. So I'm calling that fixed. We've got this Bosch GSH5CE. The lights are on, but nobody's home. It doesn't work. So I'd be willing to bet it's brushes, but we'll get into it and have a wee look here. I just unplugged that there for safety reasons, and we've got to get into this. With the lid off, I can see the brushes are completely worn out, and I'm willing to bet that's all that's wrong with this thing. You see, there's nothing left. Let me get down closer and get one of them pulled out. Do you see what I mean? Getting up close with this here. I'll just get this pulled out. You see what's left? Look. The stopper. That's the one of these brushes is one of these on, and that's why it's got two wires, and that stops it from going. Once the brush gets worn down to a certain degree, that pops out and touches the armature, and then it stops the thing working. That's even broke as well. So it needs a new set of brushes. So we're going to stick them on there and proceed onwards. If you compare old to new, you'll understand the difference. That's one side done, so we just have to flip her over and do the same on the other side. As you've probably observed, this one only has one wire, and that's because the wee stopper is on one side. You only need one side to have that wire. That's both sides fitted now, so all I have to do is put the bottom back on, give her a wee test. So that's everything back together. Nothing remains to do but test the machine. Right, the light's on now, so here goes. I'm calling that fixed, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and check out my channel for all my other videos.